changed my batteries before I taxied out, and I hit yes for the microphone hookup or the input. Still didn't get audio. I did a back taxi here, but I cut it short because the runway is really bumpy. So I left that little bit behind me. 2 notches of flaps. I'm at 20 degrees. I don't like taking off this way because of the wires and the trees at the end of the runway and the sun glare. As you can tell, looking at the panel, the sun is right in my face, so the panel looks really dark. It really messes with the video camera. So with 2 notches of flaps, I'm off pretty quick. You can see there's a lot of bug splatter there. The bugs were terrible. But the best is yet to come. Watch here to the top right corner of the birds. We have one that passes by and another one that comes right over my wingtip. Here's number 1. Watch him through the visor. He's plenty clear. Now this guy rolls right over my wingtip. When I did my checks, I had added landing lights, fuel pump, check heartbeat. So I cut this video short without a lot of ATC audio. I know people don't want to hear me yap. I'm about 10 miles out. I make my call in. I'm going to bank to the left coming up. Here we go. Right through the visor. That little island out there is right on Route 90, Isle of Wight. That's a little park. Turn back on course for the airport. Maybe I should play some music in the background. I really don't like music, but maybe I should start playing it as often as this audio cuts out. I'm honestly thinking about ditching all my Garmin VIRBs and going to GoPros. I have just had no luck with the VIRB and this audio issue. It has been just a nagging pain. Here's the airport right off the nose. Just past the 12 o'clock. I'm going to turn in and make my call for the left downwind runway 20. Winds were favoring 20. They were 040, 030, 11 knots, 19 knots. It was jumping all over the place. As you're going to see, right center bottom of the panel, I'm going to drop the gear. I'll beam the numbers, and again I only get the nose gear and the right main. Gear warning light when they're in transit comes on. Nose gear, right main, nose gear, and no left. So if you hit the button, it comes on. So the bulb is good. It's just not making a connection. But I took care of that at the end of the day. I'm going to keep making my way in. Turn left base here for runway 2. And you'll see acetate off the nose. Yeah, I keep futzing with that little light. But the breaker was good again. And when I pulled the throttle back and had flaps out, when it knows it's in the landing configuration, I didn't get a gear warning bell. And trust me, that bell is like an old-time telephone. You can't miss it. So I was pretty confident that my gear was down and locked. Plus I felt the 3 clunks. There's acetate right off the nose. Turn final, make my position call. Adding another notch of flaps. You can tell right on the right hand side of my yoke, that's the manifold pressure and fuel flow gauge. Those are almost, it's probably about 14 manifold pressure. And if I pull the power back, right now the bell would be screaming if the gear wasn't down. A little bit of a quartering headwind coming at me. You can see the manifold pressure gauge and fuel flow gauge are pretty well zeroed out. I added the last notch of flaps right here with the runway made. Made an okay landing. Be nice if I was on center. Here we go. Alright, fuel pump off. I'm going to taxi down. Instead of crossing 1432 and going to the end of the runway, I'm going to cross 1432 and make a little right turn and go right across the closer taxiway. Now, what I did with the bulb, once I pulled up to park the plane right before I would push it in the hangar, I unscrewed the left main gear bulb, which I know is good. I had opened my door and I rubbed the bottom of the bulb on my wing walk. Same thing as sandpaper, really. And it was really, the bottom of the bulb was really dirty. And once I just gave it a real light rub, it was nice and shiny like it was brand new. Plugged it in, three lights solid, left main gear lit up. So it was just, I think it was just the bulb issue. I think the bulb was definitely good, just the bulb issue. Not making a good connection unless I pushed it. Okay, thanks for riding along. Please hit subscribe and like, and hopefully we'll get the audio squared away for our Wednesday trip to get the Reiff Pre-heat installed.